Stolen cakes, killer cooks, and one hell of a Walk of Fame ceremony. You can get your fill of tasty recipes and outrageous competitions from Food Network, but it might come with a side of scandal. Food Network had a hit on its hands in the mid-2000s when it presented Calorie Commando, an instructional program about making low-fat, low-calorie variations of beloved comfort foods. Juan Carlos Cruz, a former pastry chef who learned healthy cooking techniques and lost 100 pounds, hosted Calorie Commando for 2 years and expanded the franchise with Calorie Countdown Cookbook, a collection of recipes and a 5-week weight loss meal plan. In 2010, only a couple of years after Calorie Commando ceased production, police in Santa Monica, California arrested Cruz after he tried to have his wife, Jennifer Campbell, killed. Cruz allegedly offered $1,000 to 3 homeless men to carry out the hit. One of the men told police, who set up a sting, leading to Cruz's arrest and charge for solicitation of murder. Sources close to Cruz and Campbell told CNN that the couple had tried unsuccessfully to have a child for 20 years and that Campbell's mental health had suffered as a result. According to one source, she talked about suicide but was unable to end her own life due to her Catholic faith. Cruz was, according to another source, nothing but a loving and devoted husband. The former Food Network star entered a no-contest plea, and he was sentenced to 9 years in prison. In the 2010s, Food Network aired a couple of seasons of Dessert First with Thornton, an instructional program that aimed to show viewers how to make extremely decadent and elaborate desserts. Its host was a personal chef trained at the Institute of Culinary Education and a pastry chef with experience at high-end New York eateries like Hotel Griffu and the Waverly Inn. All that history manifested in some showstopper desserts on Dessert First, including peach mascarpone and pecan wontons and German chocolate cupcakes. The trouble was that a significant number of Thornton's recipes didn't come from her own brain, staff, or test kitchen. She lifted them from the works of extremely prominent food personalities, Ina Garten and Martha Stewart.
That's not a nice thing.
Per an exposé published by the New York Post, Luscious Lemon Squares was a near-perfect copy of a Garten recipe, and Thornton's German chocolate cupcakes came topped with a frosting almost identical to Stewart's coconut pecan frosting. After going back over the recipes supposedly created by Thornton in Season 1 of Dessert First, Food Network personnel found more copied recipes. The channel canceled Dessert First after 2 seasons, but claimed it was because of low ratings and not the scandal. Shows about cakes were a major trend in Food Network's programming in the 2010s. The channel was the TV home of Ace of Cakes, Cake Wars, and many others, and offered cake-based content on its online outlets. In 2016, the Food Network Facebook page shared a video showing home bakers how to make cupcakes that resembled snow globes. The secret? Transparent gelatin sheets shaped into domes. That recipe looked very familiar to Elizabeth LeBeau, a former professional pastry chef who started the baking website Sugar Hero in 2011. Back in December 2014, LeBeau posted a recipe for cupcakes that resembled snow globes. A year later, thanks to a Facebook post, the recipe generated so much internet traffic that Sugar Hero crashed under the sudden demand. By the time the holiday season rolled around in 2016, LeBeau decided to make a how-to video for the recipe. More than 5 million people viewed the video in just 3 weeks. That's when Food Network posted its version of the recipe video, which LeBeau would claim in court documents copied her shot for shot. She filed a copyright infringement lawsuit against the channel and its corporate siblings in June 2017. A settlement was reached in November of that year. No single on-air personality is more associated with Food Network than Bobby Flay. The restaurateur and cookbook author has starred in, hosted, or appeared on literally dozens of programs for the channel over the past 2 decades. Back in the 2010s, Flay's then-wife, Law & Order Special Victims Unit ensemble member Stephanie March, often appeared alongside her husband on his cooking shows. In 2015, Flay filed for divorce after 10 years of marriage, citing a relationship that had broken down irretrievably, according to court papers. But the real cause of the divorce may have been Flay's infidelity. Page 6 reported that in late 2014, March found out that Flay had been carrying on a 3-year affair with Elise Terrell, a hostess at Flay's Bar Americaine who later became the Food Network star's personal assistant. As the legal issues over the divorce played out in courtrooms, in the summer of 2015, Flay became the first ever celebrity chef to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. During the ceremony honoring Flay, a hired plane flew above, pulling a banner that read, "Cheater."
You win. You totally win.
Thanks.
One of the longest-running shows on the Food Network is Worst Cooks in America. For more than 25 seasons, the reality series has identified some of the most inept home cooks in the country. After exposing them to extensive culinary training, the show challenges them to compete in a cooking competition. The winner of Season 20 of The Worst Cooks in America, airing in 2020, was Ariel Robinson. The South Carolina resident took home a host of brand new appliances and $25,000. 6 months after her televised triumph, Robinson and her husband, Jerry Robinson, were arrested on homicide charges after a foster child in their care died of injuries related to physical abuse. Jerry Robinson told authorities that Ariel Robinson frequently and seriously harmed 3-year-old Victoria Smith, accounting for the blunt force injuries cited in a coroner's report. Meanwhile, the Food Network winner claimed that the child died from ingesting too much water. In 2022, a court found Robinson guilty. She was sentenced to life in prison. Food Network removed Robinson's season of Worst Cooks in America from distribution. If you or someone you know may have been the victim of child abuse, please contact the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4-A-CHILD, 1-800-422-4453, or contact their live chat services.